I get asked what is the best way to treat varicose veins right now. And I'm assuming in the question people are talking about major varicose veins with major vein incompetence. Any comments I make are going to be very time limited because this whole field of surgery is moving on so rapidly. The old open operation where we cut and we stripped and we sewed and we did all that under general anaesthetic is dead and gone in the context in which I provide treatment. So we've moved on to a minimally invasive area, and whatever happens in the future, it's going to be minimally invasive. There's going to be no general anaesthesia. There's going to be no cutting or stripping or sewing of any degree. There's going to be a good cosmetic result. My personal direct answer to what is best right now is radiofrequency ablation of major varicose veins, and I believe that should be combined at the same time with removal of large varicose veins by avulsions or local means through little stab wounds. That's the operation I favour. And the reason I favour it is because of this table. Across the top of this table, you can see the 4 common major treatments outlined. In the darker column, you can see radiofrequency, RF. Beside it, you can see endovenous laser therapy, EVLT. Beside that, you can see the open surgical operation, which I suppose was the gold standard. It's the standard we have to measure all treatments against. And beside that, you can see ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy. The first line, and I apologize, this is quite complicated, it shows the success rates for surgery. And you can see that 3 of those operations have a 95% plus success rate. And they are radiofrequency ablation, laser, and open surgery. Ultrasound-guided treatment is lower, it's in the 80%. So immediately what I can say from that line is that radiofrequency ablation and laser therapy, these are minimally invasive treatments which are every bit as effective as the old open operation. And that is the reason why the old operation is obsolete. The next line is interesting because it helps us choose between the choices of radiofrequency ablation and endovenous laser therapy. And why this line is important to patients particularly is because it refers to post-operative pain scores. And you can see pain scores are a subjective thing reported by patients. You can see that endovenous laser therapy in the second line has a much higher pain score of nearly 2.5 compared to radiofrequency, which has quite a low pain score of 1 point whatever. So that is the reason why I personally prefer radiofrequency ablation. And it makes sense that it's less painful because the temperatures that the vein is subjected to with radiofrequency ablation are quite low. In fact, it's 120 degrees for less than 20 seconds. That is sufficient to ablate a segment of vein with radiofrequency. Whereas the laser exerts a temperature between 800 and 900 degrees centigrade. So, without getting too scientific, radiofrequency ablation is currently the best way to do varicose veins. It's minimally invasive, it has less complications than the others, it's less painful, and most importantly, compared to the old open surgery, it's much more cosmetically acceptable.